Here comes the hardest video. I have been really trying to study up on this topic. I know a number of my subscribers have requested it. Golf carts. If you're moving to the Villages or in any other 55 community that has golf carts, what do you need to know? What do they cost? How do you go about it? I do not own a golf cart. First disclaimer. Second disclaimer is I'm researching for myself, so I thought I would share. Number two, I'm hoping through most of this video you're not going to be looking at me. You're going to be looking at different pictures and different options and different things. But let's go. So you have a bunch of major choices, and which one you pick as the priority is going to matter, and it may not be the same as for me. So I'm going to run through what your choices are. And this is part of the difficulties of making this. I think some salespeople will tell you a golf cart's a golf cart. It's got a couple of seats. You can upgrade the seats. What color do you want? There you go, out the door. I find the process a lot more complicated than that. So let's go right with number one. Do you want an electric golf cart or a gas golf cart? There are maybe two, maybe three things to think about here. Let's start with gas. Gas powered is just what it is. You have a gas tank. The engine is a gas-fired engine. It's got oil, needs oil changes, and you fill it with gas, and a tank's going to last you 250 miles or so, depending on the cart and the manufacturer. One of the choices within the gas cart is there's some models. Yamaha makes a QuietTech, which has got insulation around the muffler and the noise, and it deafens the sound. And of course they keep improving that, and that's a selling point. So when if you pick gas, do you want a regular gas cart or do you want one that's quieter? I have tried out a regular gas cart and a QuietTech. For me personally, the QuietTech is better, but I don't know if it's that big a difference. There's still gas-fired, you can hear the motor running, that kind of thing. Electric, a lot's changed in electric carts. If you go this route, electric carts. Just a few years ago, the electric carts made by the major manufacturers that do golf carts, you weren't getting 30-mile range. And let's put that in perspective. If the if the golf cart will only do 20 to 24 miles per hour, you basically on a 30, 35, you're looking at an hour and a half, 2 hours of that cart running. That's it. Where the gas cart, you can go all day. You probably can go 5 or 6 days before you ever need to fill up, if you use it a lot. But the electric cart has some advantages. The noise level of an it's like a hum. It's, you all have seen electric cars. The electric golf cart is very, very quiet. And a lot has changed from the 30, 35, 40 miles range, because it's no longer miles per gallon or whatever, it's range. And so those carts have made a big jump when you go to lithium batteries, from the old sealed batteries to the lithium. Those carts have started to jump up in how many miles they can go. And there's a couple of shining stars, and that's no pun intended. There's a couple of manufacturers that are really kicking it. I wouldn't go for an electric club car or one of these others. Even if they had the old batteries and they put in lithium, I don't think the range is still that great compared to, there are two manufacturers, I I think one is Star. Clearly, Star is making electric vehicles that can go about 80 miles. Now, if you think about that, that's a 4-hour in a golf cart going continuously range. That's a long time. I think that range puts this vehicle in a category in which you could pretty much travel almost anywhere in the villages and back and not have to do a secondary charge, or you would fail to make it. So I think Evolution is another manufacturer that's come out with lithium carts and seems to be in that same ballpark, but I may have skipped. Really, this item is, do you want electric that needs to be charged up every night? Do you want gas that you can go a week and possibly not have to fill it up once a week? And do you want noise or quiet? Those are big choices. A lot of people jump right to the gas. I've tried out gas carts and electric carts. I'm leaning towards the electric cart. I really am. The next big choice, number 2, next big choice is 2-seater. Everybody knows what that looks like. Just go by a country club and look at a golf cart and 2 seats, a roof, and a windshield, and you tool around in a 2-seater. The next choice gets a little complicated: 4-seater or 6-seater. Now, 4-seater has 2 configurations. You can have 2 seats facing front, the driver and the passenger, and then have another row facing front with 2 more seats. Now, the cart gets longer, and that means you can't park it in the same spot as a 2-seater cart. Because a lot of times in the villages, in the town squares, people will head in parking, because you can fit like 4 golf carts in 1 car spot heading in, and you won't be sticking into the road. You get one of those longer carts, you're going to have a problem. But there are also 4-seaters in which they basically take where the clubs go and they put an attachment. They're rear-facing seats, and those can be, some people aren't going to like to ride backwards, but if you had guests and it was kids or teenagers, you all could get on. And definitely that 4-seater is less expensive than the 4-seater of everybody facing forward. 6-seater is easy. It's a golf cart with all 4 seats facing forward, and then where the back of the golf cart, they put on one of those additional 2-seaters facing backwards. Now, of course, the price goes up for each type. So the 2-seater is less expensive. The 4-seater with the rear-facing seat, that really is an attachment. Depending on who you buy the golf cart, it's $1,000 or $2,000 more to get that additional attachment. A 4-seater, all looking forward, is more expensive than that. And then you go 6-seater, and that's going to be the most expensive. And really what you want to look at that is to make sure what the maximum weight is that it can carry. Because it's a golf cart, and I'm not so sure all engines are equal in pulling. So your first choice, electric or gas. Second choice, 2-seater, 4-seater, or 6-seater. Number 3, it kind of fell into this a little bit, is brand. Clearly, in the villages, you'll see a lot of Yamaha. I would say Yamaha is number 1. You'll see a lot of E-Z-GOs. Then you'll see some club cars, and then you'll see this Star. The Star Sirius model, the villages carries. There's not a long wait to get one, and it's one of those electric that you can try. I tried it. You got to try it. It really is, and it's innovative in the sense that you get a front trunk that pops up. They come a lot with, you can get the 4-seater with the 2 seats facing back, but which is nice about that one is that seat that folds down, there's an extra trunk with the seat when you fold it down, and it's got a nice I will call it platform for your groceries and all those kind of things. And because it's an electric, the digital displays and everything are kind of a cut above without having, it's kind of built in because it's an electric cart. So it's a little more electronic and gadgety than the standard Golf gas cart. Now the Evolution, I have not tried one or actually physically seen one, but they're advertised with very similar specs to the Star. Now I know I didn't hit all the manufacturers. I know there are others, but those are the major brands. The next choice, and probably the biggest choice, do you want new or used? And just like an automobile, if you buy used, know what you're looking for. You'll quickly learn, it's not all about what it looks like. It's about the frame. Club cars come with aluminum frames, so don't Stars. Star actually buys the aluminum frame from Club Car. Aluminum doesn't rust or deteriorate, and so it lasts a long time compared to a Yamaha or E-Z-GO. So there's some structural things on older carts and how old you want to go, and a lot of things become questionable. And also warranty, you don't really get a warranty in 99% of the cases of a used cart. Now, there is a different classification of used cart. What the Villages Golf cars is what they call it, and not carts. And I think that's because it's priced like a car. But they also purchase, golf courses purchase a fleet of carts, and then they rotate them every so many years. And so what you end up is the Villages Golf Cars store purchases those and updates them, paints them, adds new seats, changes the batteries, and those are used, but they sell them almost as much for new. And I'm going to go into a little bit of their pricing and something for you to figure out. But new or used, new you're going to pay more, but you're going to come with a lot more of the warranty from the manufacturer. With that comes what I will call my next major choice, is that tied with that is the service options. The Villages Golf Cars have service centers in the major plazas. So if you buy from them, they also have the facilities to service them. So when you need oil changes and that kind of thing, it's all right there built into the infrastructure. Clearly, any business person understands if they built that infrastructure, it costs money, and their carts usually run a little higher than other places. But you get that benefit of the service options. But there are other service options. There are companies around the villages that will come to your property and maintain your golf cart for a fee. They'll come out and change the oil right there in your garage or in your driveway. They will do the tune-up once a year or whatever is required. There are companies like that. If you buy it from another, there are plenty of golf cart sales around the villages, and I'm sure they offer certain service. Either sometimes even they'll pick up the cart and drop it back off. So there's a lot of service options. The last item I want to touch on is features and options. Oh my God. You understand that if you buy a golf cart from not the villages, anywhere else, 90% of the time if you order a new one, you're going to get, I'll use Yamaha. Yamaha has like 6 colors. They have a standard seat. They might give you one option for a different type of seat, but there's not a lot of options. Those options from the place that you buy it from either have the ability to do those options or they don't. And so you'll get a good price, but you'll might not get exactly what you're looking for. Compared to the Villages, they've got, when you go in and see a salesperson, they want to know 2 4-seater, 6-seater. They want to know then what kind of cart you like, then what seat you like. And the seat, Ride and Comfort, they have 9 different seats. And the seats go from $500 to over $2,000. $2,000. That sounds to me like a living room couch, but it's a golf cart seats, 2 seats. So you just be aware that, and the adjustments on the seats. So let's talk about when you pick your golf cart. They're not all the same. My wife and I are not the same height, and so my wife has difficulty on some of the golf carts reaching the pedals. On some of the golf carts, because when they put in a luxury seat, they put it on a plywood board. It gets lifted up, so it's hard to reach the pedals. It also can come into play with how far she's up or back, and if the steering wheel hits her. And years ago, they used to do adjustable steering wheel columns. They've eliminated that. My wife would love to have that, so therefore she's not suffering. And just like anything, you go from a bench seat to a twin bucket adjustable seat, you're going to have a lot more forward and back. And the two of us being slightly different size, I found on some of the ones that she felt comfortable with, the back of the seat hit me wrong, too low, too high, had to be adjusted. So there's more. This is much more difficult. If it's only for you, it probably won't be as difficult. But if it's for a couple and you're not built the same or about the same height, you might have some trouble. And trust me, I've seen some very tall guys and some very big guys, and each one will tell me, I picked this cart because I fit better in it. So you really got to try them out. If you think you're going to purchase far away, you better look for a local dealer to try out some of these things, because the seats matter. Now, not only does the seat matter, my wife being short, but her eye level in the seat, the windshields flip up for air ventilation. When it's hot, you want to put the windshield down so the air comes flowing through. The manufacturer put this big rubber gasket to lock in the 2 pieces. It just happened to hit right in her eyesight. She's not above it. And of course, the salespeople say, get a cushion. No, cushion. Now she can't touch the pedals. Now the steering wheel comes into a problem. So this has been turned into a much more difficult picking of a golf cart. But I'm going to run through some prices here because I think that is really what's going to drive you. If you in the Villages want to get what I call a refurbished cart from a golf club that the Villages can process rather quickly and get them out to you, you don't have to wait for a new cart. And I'm saying months instead of 6 or 8 months. You're in the range between, $10,000 and $13,000 for a Yamaha. I'm looking at the price sheet for Yamaha. Because, for instance, when I was there this year, they were selling 2019 QuietTech Yamahas that you could have in any color, and they have these big swab, patches, leather, every color, whatever. you can customize it any way you want. And you pay for those things. The E-Z-Go, very similar to what they do, but let's go with a brand new E-Z-Go. Actually, why don't I give you, for a 2023 Yamaha QuietTech, a 2-passenger. We're not going with 4-passenger, 2-passenger. If you want a brand new one and you want to wait till February or 7-8 months, we're talking 12 to 14,000, depending on your options. Now keep in mind, many of these things, you got additional things depending on if you pick a different seat, as I showed. So $2,000 or $3,000 more if it's new. The E-Z-Go is kind of the same thing. I've got a 2018 sheet. I will call it reconditioned. 14,000. That actually has a lithium battery in it. Pretty much above $10,000 when you want to do this. Now, one of the carts I didn't mention was the Atomic carts. I did try one of these out. They look like mini cars. They have air conditioning. They're electric. They run $18,000. So they are an option for you if you're not interested in a golf cart look. And these kind of come in different styles. But I know they were telling me the price is $16,000, $18,000. And they're just outside of the villages to try that. I'm hoping that helps you get a little bit of an understanding of what you're looking into. Price, new and used, you probably can save outside of the villages a couple $1,000, but you might not get all of the options that are available at the villages. So, like anything, you pay for that. And there's a lot of there's a lot of customization. There's other shops that will do complete customization, but you're probably talking in the $20,000 to $30,000 range. For me, that's out. I'm looking for a very dependable golf cart. And it's finally sinking in that a golf cart is a major choice. And I think I'm sold on a 4-seater because it's only $2,000 more. And if guests come, I don't have to rent another golf cart. And if I need to buy a lot of groceries, I can fit it on the golf cart. That's just my looking at it. I know gas golf carts are king today, but I think the lithium new golf carts, with being super quiet, there's nothing like zipping around on a golf cart that is electric and that is super quiet, and you can talk in the cart really easy, and it's almost no noise. That's pretty cool. Hey, again, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like.